Welcome back to Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. Boy, our last part was emotionally charged, wasn't it? Well, I'm pretty sure after we're done with this, it's pretty much going to put everything in perspective now, isn't it? So, we finally got past October 13th. Now let's get to, well, the next day. And right before me was a pair of blue eyes, the size of frying pans. Ah! I stare at Lucy in bewilderment as I find myself falling off my bed.
もう朝です。よく眠れましたか?
Before I make any attempt to talk back to her, I decide to check the time. It was earlier than usual. A little big yawn. So early in the morning. Before I can ask why I was woken up so ahead of schedule, I start to sniff. I can smell something delicious. My room was filled with a mouth-watering scent. I tell myself that the neighbors must be cooking up something good. Then Lucy suddenly opens her mouth.
朝食のご用意ができました。
Those words were the most unexpected. Did you just say breakfast?
冷蔵庫にある材料で簡単に作らせていただきました。お口に合うかはわかりませんが。
Breakfast. The word had a nostalgic ring to it. When was the last time I eaten something other than fast food for breakfast? Besides tuna and surimi.
あ、何か嫌いな食べ物はございますか?
No.
嫌いな食材はございますか?
No. Nothing like that. I wanted to say carrots and cucumbers, but I decided against it. I didn't want to be seen as an immature kid complaining about his food. It doesn't fit my cool intellectual image. Still haven't fully woken up yet. I confirm my understanding with Lucy once more. So, you're telling me you made breakfast?
はい、ルーシーが実力を発揮しました。これから10分後にできますので、これを飲んで少しお待ちくださいね。
She's a keeper. A cup of water is presented to me. I was just starting to get a little thirsty too. So grab hold of the cup. Its pleasant coolness spreads along my skin. I feel embarrassed about following Lucy's orders, so I decided to make a small complaint as I put my cup to my lips. Next time, you should wake me up when the food's actually ready.
ダメです。起きてすぐに食事すると胃と腸に負担がかかります。 させた後に食事をとらないといけません。
She has a good point. Because as we speak, I happen to have a little bottle of water right here, right beside me. So, for my own sake, I should just have a little thing of water whenever I do massive recording sections. Of course, I'm taking my break every time I'm doing this part because this is like I said, emotionally charged. How annoying. What a strict one this robot is. I enjoy the feeling of the cold water pouring down my throat and quenching my thirst. Feels like my insides are being cleansed thoroughly. Suddenly I realize how absurd this whole situation is. The fact that someone is preparing breakfast for me. Could I still be dreaming? I feel like I'm on cloud 9. Lucy cheerfully skips towards the kitchen. I only continue to stare blankly. Ten minutes have passed. Only now I feel more awake. It's pain how my body is really slow to start itself up. I begin to feel hungry. The smell of Lucy's cooking motivates me to drag myself out of bed. Yeah, that's the same way that I feel after my cousin starts cooking. It's like, oh, hold on. Everything just starts waking like. I head straight to the kitchen table. Apologies if I do sound a bit tired, and in the last part I did, like I said, I really wasn't acting. Most people think it's always acting. I'm like, no. No, that last part I did, not acting at all. I was really emotional. I'm stunned by the variable feast laid out before me. A cloud of white steam is rising from the bowl of rice. The soup is boiling with intensity. The sound, it's making its music to my ears. And there's a perfectly prepared fish along the variety of side dishes. It'd be shameful to compare this to a lunchbox from a convenience store. Appearing to have sensed my delight, Lucy smiles pleasantly. Her voice is full of a tease. I feel a sense of defeat. I begin to feel frustrated for no particular reason. I want to say something in reply, but decide to hold back. If you see like a whole table full of food and you're the only person there, I will say, Goshi-sama deshita, and itekimasu. I take a seat in silence and lift my spoon.
美味しいですか？
I'll take a bite yet. What's the rest? Just hold on a second.
さあさあ、冷める前に召し上がってくださいね。
Lucy takes a seat at the opposite end of the table. While striking a sly pose with a hand on her chin, she urges me to eat. It was as if the food was suddenly going to disappear if I didn't start soon. She's gazing at me intently. She's trying not to make it obvious, but I can tell she's very eager to see my reaction. But whatever I say next will decide what her face will show. I take a spoonful of the glossy white rice and put it in my mouth. It's good. That's the flavor and texture. I'm not essential to purpose too. Marvelous. So I don't know about cookie stuff. Hold on. That's my favorite. She probably knows only the best recipes from around the world. And since she's a robot, there wouldn't be any inconsistencies in her cooking. And the background is a bit kind of stuff. Then this is what you expected. There's nothing to be surprised about. Well, robots, it's just a robot. She wouldn't be able to top something that Mama used to make, as I said. Although personally, I've never had an opportunity to taste my mother's cooking, so I can't compare. Looking back at Lucy, who was still staring at me with great anticipation, I think about what I should say. I can feel an aura of confidence around her, yet she appears to be worried at the same time. She's expecting me to say something. I finally make my reply. Now, in order for me to actually get an achievement for it, we have to keep up this act that is just terrible. I know it's stupid just to get these achievements, but you gotta it's like the game wants you to continue this act, right? So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna drop a save, like so. And we're gonna do both. So for the achievement, let's just do this. It's horrible. Ugh, it's horrible. What is this stuff? I said bluff. It's because I wanted to hide my embarrassment. And I also wanted to tease Lucy. This one and that one too, they're all terrible. You seemed pretty confident last night, but I'd say you still have a long way to go. How dare you present something like this to your master? You're nothing but all talk, aren't you?
マスター
What is it? You have a problem with my honest feedback?
そのように美味しいという顔をしながらおっしゃっても説得力がありませんよ。
Sure, I've got to keep a straight face. But I won't back down so easily. Men never give up. Bullshit. Once a man makes a decision, he sticks with it till the end. You just imagine things close, outright terrible. Why won't you believe me? I still had to go on defensive to see how she would react.
ですがマスター、そうおっしゃっている間にも手は止まっていませんよ。
What?
ルーシーの勘違いですか？
Damn, she's smart. Touche. At this point, I decided to take it to the next step. Well, aren't you being skeptical? How about you try the food yourself?
ルーシーがですか？
You heard me. As I'm about to pick up some of the food to give her, I stop to think. Is it alright for robots to eat something like this? Will they get a stomachache? What if the food gets somewhere? What if the food gets stuck somewhere and causes a malfunction? I spent a ton of money already and I don't know how expensive a visit to the repair shop is going to be. Plus that guy will probably make some sort of excuse to take Lucy away from me next time.
それじゃあ少しだけ。
I guess she can, really. Those small lips of hers start to get busy. I wait nervously. How's... She'll be fine, right? I attempt to calm myself with a glass of water.
マスターの味がします。
Oh! All the water I've been holding in my mouth comes squirting out. With lightning reflexes, Lucy begins to wipe down the tape.
嬉しくありませんでしたか？
It tastes like me.
関節キスの後にこう言うと相手は喜ぶとネットに書いてありましたが。
Alright. This just proves you suck at research. Don't you ever mention those dumb sources of yours again? The internet truly is a scary place. Talking in real time with online strangers is even scarier. This is what technology has come to. When you have something like AIM, Yahoo Messenger, and the all-important Skype. Here, we can clearly see the downside of having such excessive amounts of information. Past generations may have suffered from a lack of information, but the current generation is struggling from having so much useless information that it's become tough to sift through all the crud for a single bit of truth.
本当のことを言うと、ルーシーが味を感じることができません。
Oh, now she decides to tell me that. But what did I expect? It's obvious that robots wouldn't have any taste buds.
ですが、それぞれの味の濃度を知らせる味覚グラフは立派な黄金比を記録しています。
Okay, so...
ですから、本当は美味しいはずです。
I guess I can't deny it when she puts it that way. And it really is true that her cooking is very good. So I decided to focus on eating instead. So we get an achievement for that. So you know what? Let's drop in our save. Like so. Go back. And let's see what we're going to do after we've done that. And just say it tastes alright, I guess. If we were being brutally honest. Oh, it tastes alright, I guess.
よかったです。
Even with my meek response, she still lets out a big sigh of relief.
お口に合うか心配だったんです。好みに関する情報が足りなくて。
You don't need to concern yourself with that. I've been eating fast foods all my life. I'll eat anything, even if you make me some porridge from pig intestines.
ルーシーの料理は動物の餌と同じということですか？
Oh dear.
料理すらちゃんとできないルーシーをどうかお許しください。本当にルーシーはアンドロイド失格ですね。
And this is what happens when you just be brutally honest. She actually looks pretty depressed about this. She looks as if she's about to run off while leaving behind a trail of tears. Am I supposed to chase after her while holding a piece of bread in my mouth or something? No, that's not what I meant. I'm saying that it tastes better than what I expected. So you don't need to beat yourself up over it.
本当ですか？
Yeah.
本当に信じてもいいのでしょうか？
It doesn't take long for Lucy to cheer up and start humming away happily. It's nice that she's easy to deal with. I continue to eat in silence while checking up on her after every few spoonfuls. So we got both, so it's all good. I can't tell how much time has passed. The bowl of rice I've been eating has started to show its bottom. I still glance at the clock. It's not yet time to leave for school. While reveling in my satisfaction. I would say reveling. While reveling in my satisfaction, I decided to sit back in my chair to chill out for a bit. Some time passes. While cleaning up the empty dishes, Lucy asked me a question. Her tone was quite delicate, as if to soothe a small animal.
失礼ですが、マスター。昨日から気になっていたことが一つあるんです。
What is it? She seemed to be hesitating, so I gave her a little push. Go ahead.
ロボットが嫌いなのは、もしかしてお父様の影響ですか？
The truth. The question catches me off guard. All the unpleasant memories involving my father come flying back. I slowly realized that my chopsticks were frozen in midair. Without missing a beat, I continued delivering the food to my mouth. In an attempt to hide my surprise, I purposely give a curt answer. Well, I guess you could say that. Nothing will change from denying it. I put down the chopsticks and locked eyes with Lucy. This robot's just laid waste to the values and beliefs I've held for the past 18 years. keeping my eyes on the robot I muse. Now that I think about it, I was probably brainwashed.
洗脳と言いますと？
I've heard nothing but awful things about robots since I was little. Robots are bad. Robots make us ill. Robots harm society. I grew up listening to that all the time, so it just sort of rubbed off on me. The previous generation of IT. Now the new generation of robots. As long as we sandwich between two generations, there's bound to be people advocating against new technologies such as robots. Sounds like Astro blowing away. There are plenty of people out there who are strongly opposed to the production of robots. My father is a prime example. Similar to what happened during the Industrial Revolution, the effects of this profound new technology is gradually expanding across the globe. Robots are slowly taking away people's jobs opportunities. I could make such a racial reference, but I'm not going to. It costs less to maintain robots than to pay employee salaries. Robots never complain, and they're consistent in their performance, unlike people. They don't feel any stress or pain, and they never mess around. It'd be much easier to deal with a robot than to fuss over a troublesome worker. We're only beginning to find out what kind of changes robots will bring to our society. Unemployment is getting out of control. All the newly formed jobs are being handled by robots. This is why many people shun robots. No one understands this. No one understands whether this is a temporary phenomenon arising from the drastic changes in our lifestyle, or if it's a type of psychological disease. It'll only become clear as time goes on. One thing I can say for sure is that there's always been a divide against the population, as made evident by the Luddism movement in the early 1800s. Some are more willing to accept this new technology, while some are not. To me, a world run by robots doesn't seem too promising. No, as long as they remember the golden rule of robotics. It was too late by the time I had finally grown old enough to think about, to be able to think for myself. It's not as simple as just changing my perspective. Because maybe I would have still turned out like this even without my father's influence. My hatred for robots has simply become part of my life now. The most horrifying part of brainwashing is that you can never fight against it. It's technically impossible to bend someone completely to your will. Church is like that. You can't do anything about people acting low on the outside, but despising you on the inside. Brainwashing is different, however, because the person would have the knowledge to think for himself in the first place. And it's possible to take advantage of that bit by bit. As long as the victim never comes to realize this, he'll never be able to retaliate. There also needs to be a compelling reason for him to change. Even with a good reason, it's likely that he won't be willing to accept it. Because if he did, he wouldn't be going against all the beliefs he held for his entire life. It would crumble the very foundation of his very existence. The older a person becomes, the harder it gets for him to admit that he's been in the wrong. Who knows? Maybe I never would have come to hate robots. It's too late for me to start thinking about that now, though.
ルーシーはですね、マスターとお父様のお二人がロボットを好きになってくれると嬉しいです。ルーシーを好きになってくれると嬉しいです。これからはここで仲良く暮らしたいので。
Upon hearing that, I unknowingly let out a bitter laugh. You saw what my father did when he found out you're a robot. You're asking for the impossible. It'd be a relief in itself if nothing happens to you behind my back.
捨てられるかもしれません。でも、それでもロボットを好きになってもらいたいです。
Sigh softly. She's failing to think logically as a computer. Even after hearing that my father wants to throw you out, how could you still hope for something like that? If person A hates person B, it's likely that person B will come to hate person A. At least that's how it is in normal human relationships. So how come Lucy can't grasp this? Because she's very patient and forgiving? No way. It's because she's a robot that knows how to suppress its emotions. It's because she isn't human.
お父様もきっとマスターのように心の優しい方です。ルーシーにはわかります。だからこれからマスターと仲良く暮らしてほしいと思っています。あ、もちろんルーシーとも。
You're already mistaking by calling me kind-hearted.
お父様だけではありません。
She just ignored me. That little...
マスターもアンティークショップの店長も研究所の方も皆さんいい方たちです。マスターをはじめとする世の中すべての人を力の限りサポートする。それがルーシーの使命であり願いです。
You know, if I had someone like this, I take back what I just said. Well, I'll put it in this perspective. If someone like this was living in my house, and I mean full time, and only served me and my family, and she would be the most patient thing on two legs. I don't know. I'd be blown away by all that. 'Cause maybe to me it's like I need that moment to breathe, breathe easy. I haven't had a time for myself to actually breathe that much easy. The way this person in this story is actually, is feeling. And this one android is just hoping for the greater good. It just, I can say it blows my mind. Although I wouldn't just keep calling it robot, robot, robot. No, you got a first name, I'm going to call you by that. If I call you a term of endurance, it's just going to be like, yeah. Definitely sounds like something a robot would say. It doesn't seem like she's capable of sorting the good from the bad. I can't help but give a cynical reply. In the end, we're the same. You've also been brainwashed, but in a different way. Lucy slightly tilts her head to the side. She seems to do that whenever she's confused about something.
マスター、どういう意味ですか?
You will love humans. That's essentially what's been programmed into your main system. You've no free will. That's an illusion. You've no choice but to act this way. She tilts her head from side to side. She doesn't seem to understand. You want to help everyone, right?
はい、もちろんです。
And you're happy when you help people.
はい、とっても嬉しいです。
Why do you think that you want to help others and that you feel happy once you do?
そうですね。どんな理由でしょうか?
It's because the program those researchers put inside you is forcing you to feel this way.
そうでしょうか?
Yeah. Your will and your personality are yours. But at the same time, they aren't. They're from the people that made you. They programmed you this way. You're simply following orders. You're nothing but a puppet on stage whose strings are being pulled. It may look like it's moving by itself at first glance, but it's actually being held up by wires. And there are people behind the stage controlling these wires. That's who you are. You're only moving according to how they want you to move. That's pretty much been my life the entirety since I was a kid going through Sunday school. You basically go to church because you're supposed to go to church, but they don't tell you why you should go to church. Yeah, let's put it in that perspective. Like, always on Sunday, you went to church because everybody else went to church, so you have to go to church. And going to church gave a variety of reasons why you go. You have choir. You want to listen in on the sermon. You want to be part of a community. You feel you need to justify yourself by going just because, oh hey, you have to go. And the truth is, I'm sorry if I'm getting I'm sorry if I'm getting spiritual here, religious, or however you see it, but the truth is that most people don't get that God is everywhere. And most people want to limit him just because he's in this one spot. And if you don't go to this one spot, you're going to miss out. For the last 10 or so years, it may have been less than that, but there's a reason why I stopped going to choir rehearsal and church. Mainly, since the whole thing that happened with my mom, and since then, I didn't go. because we never had much of a support group. And even now, it's like, I go back, then what? The cycle's gonna begin again. People will use people just because, oh hey, it's a convenience. I stopped going because of that. I don't want to be a convenience for anybody just because, oh, my presence changes things. It's the same thing if I was online. Maybe my presence will change, maybe it won't. And as I'm going through this novel, it's actually opening things up that I never thought I'd talk about. So perhaps, in that sense, there have been times that I do question my own existence. Like, what good am I to people? And I often do question that. What good am I to people if I was around or if I wasn't around? I think in my own defense, I do kind of bring the good out of people. At least I hope I bring the good out of people. In my role, I have to kind of be positive, but sometimes it's totally hard to be positive all the time. It really is that hard to be. Yeah, let me just take that off for a moment. It's really hard to be positive, and sometimes you can't always be positive. You have to be, you have to be 50-50. You can't always be 100% positive, and you can't be 100% negative. Sometimes you can be 40-60, 30-70, 20-80, 10-90. But it's never 50-50. Because most people, they don't realize. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. Especially in my situation, which I want this to be all balanced out. Between now and the time that I supposedly need to give myself a break from everything, even if it's for a short while. That's what I want. I want that balance to be restored in my life. I want to be, charged up and, ready to go and do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But in my current state, my mind is like, my emotional state, my mental state hasn't been all that good just because I don't know. It feels like most times when I'm trying my best, it doesn't seem like it's ever good enough for anybody. I'm not just saying that, I mean it. So it's something I had to share with you guys. Back to story. The pupils in Lucy's eyes diminish. She appears to be deep in thought.
マスターが何をおっしゃっているかよくわかりません。
I'm saying that your actions have no actual meaning. You're just a toy made to do certain tasks at a certain time. Nothing about you is real. There's no significance. Do you understand? the mind, its emotions and intuition on the inside. The body, its movements and its reactions on the outside. If they're just a part of a computer algorithm created by someone, then they aren't genuine. Any gestures, sentiments, there's no meaning behind them. I stress that idea over and over again. Something like that doesn't have any meaning.
そんなことありません、マスター。
She startles me with a sudden rebuttal. I wasn't expecting that from her. What are you talking about?
意味がないなんてありません。きっと意味はあります。
You're saying that there's meaning. You still don't get it. You were made to be friendly with humans through a program. It's not by your own choice. Your actions and feelings, they're all artificial. That's why they're meaningless.
関係ありません。誰の意図であろうと。
Dude, you just can't win with this. You can't win with this girl. What?
誰の意向であれ、ルーシーが手伝えば誰かは喜びます。誰かが喜べばルーシーはもっと嬉しくなります。誰かのお役に立てましたから。ルーシーは人を助けることでやりがいを感じ、人は必要としていた助けを得ることができます。ルーシーはそれだけで満足です。それがもし誰かによって意図された状況に過ぎないとしても、行動もルーシーの意思でない単によるものだとしても、ルーシーにとってそれは全く重要な問題ではありません。ルーシーがその時感じた感情、助けた行為、助けたという事実、助けを受けた誰かの気持ち、この過程をマスターが偽りというかもしれません。意図的に作られましたから。でもルーシーにとってこれは本物であり、そして決して意味のないものではありません。
Nonsense.
私の名前はルーシー・バレンタインです。
Lucy states her name, as if she's announcing herself before a crowd. She also did not refer to herself in third person.
ルーシーという名前は光という意味のラテン語から来ています。人々の希望に光をさせるようにと願いを込めてつけたそうです。人の役に立つこと、人の役に立った後の達成感を感じること。
I never really thought about it like that. I really haven't. I never really thought about what she just said until I read that just now. I think that's what I really want to do. Just that, right there. I want to find a sense of accomplishment. I want to be proud of that. The fact that this is what I've done. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not begging for anything. I'm not doing this for the stuff I do, like make videos and such. I'm not doing it for the sake of getting, views. If I get a few views, that's nice. If I get a couple of subs out of this whole thing, that's nice. But the main thing I want is just what she said. I want to help people and have a sense of accomplishment. That's what I want to do. I want to be useful for society, regardless if it's online or in person. I want that. I want to feel accomplished about what I do.
これがルーシーの人生の目的であり、願いです。ルーシーが感じる胸が温かくなるこの気分。これが何かによって作られたとしても、この感情は偽りにはなりません。それはきっと意図にも関係のない真実だと信じています。
I tried to say something back, but the words never came out. It felt as if there was something stuck in my throat. It wasn't exactly because I agreed with her. And it wasn't because I was touched by her words either. I actually thought she was very stubborn. As stubborn as a mule. It was rather because of how Lucy appeared so mature and real. The way she comfortably stated her opinion. Nothing about her was as remotely close to my ideas of a robot. That was why I could only sit in silence. I headed to school, with my mind a haze of confusion. My emotions were in turmoil. Reminder. October 14th. At school. The shrill noise of the lunchtime bell rings in the distance. Immediately the class begins to bustle with excitement. As soon as the teacher leaves the room, Dr. Gears turns to face me. You're buying some bread, right? Come on, let's go together. He stands up and offers to go to the cafeteria with me. Even though he already has his own lunch, he's a good guy. However, I had no reason to go to the cafeteria today. Oh, today's fine. What do you mean it's fine? You're not planning to get anything? Nope, not today. Don't tell me that you're going on a diet. You're not going to grow if you starve yourself at this rate, you know? No, what I'm saying is I don't need to buy anything. With that said, I quietly take out a lunchbox and place it on top of my desk. What? Dr. Gear stares at the lunchbox in astonishment. Damn, that's a loud lunchbox. I removed the lid to reveal its contents. The food inside looks scrumptious, it's giving off a pleasant scent. The presentation is excellent. I noticed that the menu is different from what I had eaten for breakfast. She could have just packed up the leftovers and saved herself the trouble of making something new. Does she think that I'll be pleased about this? Well, to be honest, I'm a little happy. What the heck is this? It looks like a lunchbox! It doesn't look like a lunchbox. It is one. What is going on? You couldn't possibly made it yourself. Was it your mother? Wrong. If my new mother had actually paid that much attention to me, I could have probably grown up to be a normal human being. Yeah, I didn't think so. And then who? Could it be that you... He's pretty sharp. He seems to understand right away that it was my android who packed my lunch. As expected from a close friend of mine. What you're thinking about is probably correct. Wow, nice going, man! Well, I didn't think it was... Well, I don't think it's really something to be congratulated for. So, how many days has it been? It better not be that chick from the other class who made you this lunch. If it's really her, it's gonna be over between us, you know. At this point, I realized that we weren't on the same page. With a disappointed look, I burst his bubble. Actually, this lunch is from my android. I told you about this, right? That I picked it up yesterday? Oh, really? I know it. Dr. Gears collapses on his chair like a deflated balloon. He gives me a look of disapproval. Well, he was the one getting ahead of himself. Putting on a face that seemed to read, "What was I expecting from this guy?" Dr. Gears continues. I have to admit, it was really stupid of me. To think that such a big pessimist like you could ever come close to scoring a girlfriend. Yeah, my bad indeed. I feel a sudden rush of blood to my head. I don't appreciate you talking like a big shot when you've always been single yourself. I'm just taking my time to find a perfect match. A sad excuse from an undesirable male. I decided to taunt him a little more. But think about it. Do you really think you'll ever find someone willing to accept your weird little hobbies? How about you try again after wiping off all that robot grease? You bastard! Talking smack just because I look a little nerdy. If you really think it's all about the looks, you'll regret it someday. I hope good-looking guys like you die alone. Maybe I went a little too far there. But, girlfriend, huh? I never really thought about getting one. After a bit of thinking, I make a light retort. I don't care. It's not like I'll have any trouble living without one. You sure that's the case? You shouldn't lie to yourself. I'm serious. I'll eventually get married, so what's the rush? Oh, there's a limit to being carefree, you know. You're actually never getting a girlfriend until you die. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Come on, let's be a little more honest with ourselves. Now, don't you at least have a couple of girls that you're interested in? The ones that are at school are mostly pretty cute after all. Someone I'm interested in, huh? Who do I enjoy being around with? I don't manage to come up with an answer. It's because I've never cared for something like that. But if I were to think of a particular person, yeah. I don't have anyone like that. You sure? Definitely. It's suspicious how you suddenly went quiet for a bit, though. You're imagining things. I'm just guessing here, Butts. Could it be that you actually have someone that you like? I'm telling you, I don't have anyone. Surely you can't be interested. Surely you can't be interested in. My advice only senses up. It'd be troublesome to cause any misunderstandings. I try to quiet him down. Hey, what are you talking? Me? My mind goes numb for a while. Let me make myself clear that I'm not interested in that sort of stuff. Well, if you were with me, we'd look hot enough to make all the girls go crazy. But I only like women, I hope you understand. Ha! You better not be thinking about debuting as a yaoi character before, without getting surgery first. BL, boys love, I prefer calling it what it is, yaoi. You better not be thinking about debuting as a yaoi character without getting a surgery first. If you were in a video game, you'd be one of the most hated characters for... Let me read that again. If you were in a video game, you'd be one of the most hated characters who would reduce the sales by 80% the moment you show your face. That's not true! People call me handsome all the time! Sure they do. Who exactly are we talking about? Mom and Dad. And my sister. I start to feel sorry for making fun of him. Anyway, why are we talking about my looks in the first place? Don't change the subject. We were discussing how you're going to spend the rest of your life alone. Oh, is that so? What I'm trying to say is that you should build up some experience in dating. I'm not the one to talk for others, but you're a decent-looking guy and you never talk to girls. Why don't you get some practicing? Practice? Doesn't really interest me. I take a look at some of the girls near me. They're busily chattering away with their desks put together. The topic of their conversation had nothing that I could relate to. Apart from that, it's probably something I wouldn't want to waste my time talking about. You try listening in too. How good looking this guy is, which couples are breaking up, who's getting rejected, and how good these makeups are, and how nice these clothes are. Do you really think you'll be able to join in? Ugh. He groans loudly. Who turned up the difficulty setting? See, of course you can't, since all you ever think about are your dumb robots. How dare you! If I wanted to, I'm no different. What'd you say? I said I'm no different from you. I wouldn't be able to talk to them either. The high-pitched voices of the girls across the room gave my ear canals. They make my head hurt. One day, I'll also succumb to the reproductive instincts in our DNA and get myself one of those high frequency wave emitting creatures to live together. Because that's just how life works. It can't be helped. My body wouldn't be able to resist the temptation. There's no point in forcing myself to do something that I have no interest in at this very moment, right? However late it is, I don't mind, since I'm currently enjoying my independence. You really are something, you know. I don't know what exactly is going on in your head. It's definitely not normal. I like the way you make enemies out of girls so you could just sound a bit like a hipster. Shut up. That's just who I am. In an attempt to change the subject, I shoot him a question seemingly out of nowhere. It's actually something I've been meaning to ask, though. Putting that aside, I want you to tell me something. What do you think about androids in general? Where did this come from all of a sudden? Just answer me. What do you think about androids? What do you think about androids? I just want to hear what a robot expert had to say. Androids, huh? They're convenient, aren't they? They make our lives easier. They just need electricity to run and they don't need to be paid a salary. They don't make any mistakes. They're friendly. The female models are pretty cute. I agree. Except for the last one. But that wasn't the kind of answer I was hoping to hear. I asked him a more specific question. Do you believe that androids have feelings? What? Androids. Do you believe that they have feelings? I wanted to hear the thoughts of someone with a great appreciation for androids. He had intensive experience with a variety of models, being an avid user as well. So it's a safe bet that he know a bit more about them than I would. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what kind of answer I'm expecting from him. I don't know if his thoughts will affect the way I feel, but I still want to hear what he has to say. After taking a while to think, he lays it on me with a straight face. Androids don't have any feelings. They don't. That's what I said. They don't. Yeah. You're right. It was obvious what he was going to say. But I don't feel satisfied. How could this be? Maybe I was hoping for a different answer. What's the matter? Asking such a weird question and all. It's nothing. I just suddenly got curious, that's all. Dr. Gear is giving me a confused look. I've told you this already, right? Androids are great, but you shouldn't get too attached to them. I have a feeling it might happen to you since you don't have any experience with androids in the first place. Come on, I'm being serious. Do you know why some people get so attached to androids? Why is that? It's because they want to escape from this place. I had no idea what he meant by this place. I have no choice but to ask him again. What do you mean? In short, they want to escape reality. It's related to how fantasy movies achieve higher sales during economic depression. It's also why realistic movies have a hard time getting themselves into mainstream media. People can momentarily escape reality by watching fantasy movies. Romance movies need to include something glamorous or exciting in order to appeal to the audience. Not a lot of people would be willing to pay to watch something realistic because it'd be too bland. Do you get what I mean? Androids are like drugs. They can take care of everything you need, and you can have a conversation with them. No matter how coldly you treat one, they will always respond with a smile. But this is where a number of people get delusional. Androids are caring. Androids are kind. And this is what people believe. And this is what those people believe in. But androids aren't human. They don't have any feelings. They don't actually listen to your sob stories, nor do they understand how you feel. They only pretend to. It's nice to have someone that cares about you and listens to every word you say. But these people aren't facing reality. Just like how fantasy movies aren't real. So, you should never get attached to them, much like drugs. These people are merely running away from this cruel world in order to make... These people are merely running away from this cruel world in order to take refuge in the kindness of androids. I felt I needed to make this clear to you. God, I wish I had some glasses right now. Androids don't have any feelings. His words continue to linger in my mind until the end of school. I quietly repeat those words on my way home. Countless thoughts enter and leave my mind. I find them to be mostly meaningless. I try to shut up my brain, but it's not so easy. I continue to walk in silence while staring at the pavement. Just like I always do. That's why I failed to notice her presence. I hear a familiar voice.
おかえりなさいませ。今日はいかがでしたか?
Yeah, it was Lucy's voice. I lift my head. I realize that I'm home already. And Lucy is standing at the door smiling at me. Why are you out here?
マスターのお迎えですよ。今日はどんな一日でしたか?
I must have zoned out for a moment. Just like I've been doing for the last couple of days. I quickly recollect myself. Oh, wasn't too bad.
そうですか。それは良かったです。マスター?
What is it?
なぜそんなにぼーっとされているのですか? 学校で何かありましたか?
Oh. I was just a little surprised.
びっくりですか?
Yeah.
何にびっくりされたんですか?
She looks at me calmly. I couldn't help but open my mouth when I met her gaze. About the fact that someone was actually waiting for me at home. Because that That's never happened to me before. The house always used to be empty on my way home from school. That's why I was surprised. It's nothing special.
マスター、
What is it?
学校から帰ってきても家に誰もいないというのは寂しかったですか？
No. Not really.
迎えに出てくれる人がいなくて悲しかったですか？
I'm telling you, I wasn't. The android standing before me remained silent for a while. Without saying a single word, she continues to stare into my eyes. I feel uncomfortable. Feels like I've told her too much. The silence continues. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't delve any deeper. Instead, she softly takes my arm and begins to lead me towards the door.
今日は少し肌寒いですね。さあ、家の中に入りましょう。
Okay.
そうだ。その前に一つ命令してください。
An order? What kind of order? Lucy reveals an angelic smile.
ルーシーがこれからも毎日マスターの帰りを迎えるよう命令してください。そうすればルーシーはいつ何があってもこうしてマスターを外でお迎えします。
Giving an order to a robot is the same as giving it a leash. And that is what Lucy was willing to do for me. She was willing to trade away a bit of her freedom in order to make me happy. I guess this is her own special way of being kind. Just go ahead and do as you please. It's not like I'll hate it.
かしこまりました、マスター。
But
でも
it's not in order.
命令じゃないと言いますと？
This is just a request. I'm not forcing you to do it. So if you don't want to, you don't need to. It doesn't matter. Lucy doesn't say anything. Instead, she responds with a smile. Smile and a small nod. All the while being led inside by Lucy, my head continues to spin. Her kind eyes full of sympathy. The comforting warmth rising from her hands. Her cautious gestures full of consideration. They're all part of someone's programming. They're not genuine. But at this very moment, I tell myself that maybe it doesn't matter so much. Even though her thoughts and actions may not be real. At the very least, she was giving me the happiness I've been missing in my life. That's why I decided to skip over the small details for now. Still on the same day, huh? Later that day, for whatever reason, my father came home early today. Well, not exactly early, since it's already past 11 at night, but that's still early by my standards. For a guy who usually doesn't even bother coming home at all, he's made good time. Lucy meets him at the door. She puts on her usual bright, cheery smile.
おかえりなさいませ、お父様。今日はいかがでしたか？
She doesn't seem to be affected by my father's ferocious stare at all. I expect her to be able to keep up with his behavior just fine.
お洋服はこちらにください。
At first, he seemed like he was going to flat out ignore and walk away. But he abruptly stopped in his tracks as if he changed his mind about something. I'm hungry. He murmurs with an unpleasant look on his face. That doesn't look unpleasant, that looks like he's tired. It's his first early return in a long time, and that's what he decides to say. Lucy looks puzzled, but only for a brief moment.
お腹が空いたのですね。かしこまりました。
Her face approves to brighten up a little. It seems that she was happy to receive my father's first request. She might be thinking that my father has finally accepted her. Oh well, one can dream, I guess.
ルーシーがすぐに準備しますので、もう少しだけお待ちくださいね。
Lucy is about to hurry over to the kitchen. I stop her immediately. Lucy stares at me in confusion.
マスター？
Her eyes seem to be asking why I stopped her. I'm having trouble putting it in words. But I managed to utter the following. I'm also hungry.
でも、さっき召し上がったじゃありませんか。
That's true. But I continue to insist through a silent stare. I hope that Lucy catches on.
わかりました。それでは2人分お作りすればいいんですよね。
With that said, she quickly disappears into the kitchen. And I'm suddenly left alone with my father. The atmosphere grows very stiff. He passes me a look but doesn't say something. I can also sense his discomfort. It's because of what happened yesterday. I feel even more anxious after remembering that. It feels like I'm lying on a bed of needles. If my time at home feels this agonizing, where exactly am I supposed to find peace and comfort? I decided to stay locked up in my room until Lucy finishes preparing our dinner. I kind of just like it. I feel that way too, even though I never had that problem with my father. Later, Lucy summons me to the kitchen. I take a seat at the table and begin to eat. Besides my father, Lucy is waiting intently for his reaction. Just like when she first cooked for me, her eyes sparkle while awaiting the final verdict.
お口に合いますか？
She's obviously expecting a positive reply. But there's no way my father would compliment a robot. As I expected. Machines really are no good.
違うと言いますと？
No matter how fine your recipes may be, you aren't fooling anyone. Tastes too bland. This won't do. He wipes his mouth with tissue. I feel a little embarrassed because that was similar to what I told her this morning.
そうですか。少し残念です。気に入っていただけると思ったのですが。でも、これから良くなると思います。ちょっとずつ、お父様のお口に合うよう味付けを調整してみます。きっともっと美味しく作れるようになりますので、これからは期待してくださいね。
No matter what Lucy comes across, there's nothing in this world that could break her resolute smile. No, that won't be necessary. I was just testing you because I thought you might be a little useful, but that was clearly a waste of time. There's no need to continue such an awful meal. Hurry up and take everything away.
でも、お父様。
And do not call me father! You have no reason to address me as such! Lucy flinches. What a useless robot. I can't believe so many people are losing their jobs because of these things.
お父様。
Even while stuttering, Lucy does not give up.
ルーシーは料理でなくてもほとんどうまくできます。掃除、洗濯、すべてお任せください。
There won't be a need for that.
でも、お父様。
Now what?
ルーシーは本当にたくさんのことができるんです。
She's putting it on him.
お料理は失敗しましたが、きっとお役に立てることがあるはずです。
She's grinning uncontrollably. She looks like a total idiot. I feel frustrated from just watching her. If you're that confident, I suppose I can give you another chance. I'll be watching your performance.
お任せください。
With that said, Lucy swiftly moves to clean the kitchen table. After watching Lucy for a while with a look of contempt, my father gets up from his seat. Did you really want to keep this stubborn thing that much? Enough to make you bare your teeth at your own father. That only happened in the heat of the moment. This is a whole underlying issue between us. And he hasn't realized it yet. But I know that it'd be a waste of time to try to talk some sense to him. Pretending not to hear him, I returned to my room. July 23rd. Doctor.
おはようございます、博士。今日もいい天気ですね。一ノ瀬博士、どうかしましたか？
Oh, it's nothing. I'm just not used to being called that. It feels peculiar.
博士という呼び名ですか？
I take off my glasses and rub the bridge of my nose. Ah, yes, I can never get used to that. It always reminded me of how old I am. Although I'm still very young at heart. But time truly does fly in a blink of an eye. I'm experiencing it firsthand.
博士はまだ30代前半です。今も十分にお若いですよ。
I'm near my 40s. I'm near my 40s, and I'm kind of feeling like that midlife crisis is happening. You really think so?
もちろんです。
Lucy is beaming brightly, without a trace of doubt on her face. It pains me to see her. Her pure, innocent smile. It's difficult to hold my gaze. I turn away from her instinctively. Thanks. Anyway, how are the other folks around here treating you?
はい。皆さん優しくて、とてもよくしてくれています。
That's good. I've been worrying about that.
皆さん誠心誠意、ルーシーにたくさんのことを教えてくれます。
That's because you're very smart. They enjoy teaching you. Doctor, I brought the data you requested. Ah, thanks, Andrew. Just leave it on the table. Andrew... Oh. Andrew is an android. I am really screwing this up. Andrew's an android that's been working here even before me. It's a fine piece of craftsmanship. Heard that Andrew used to be a high-end model in his time, and his job was to escort important individuals. Having served his time, he was retired, and now lives a simple life as a patrol guard at the junkyard. So that's who we saw at the first part of the story. Sometimes helps out at the lab with basic work like this too. His jobs aren't very sophisticated, but that's probably why he's been in use for so long. Then if you'll excuse me.
アンドリューとも仲良くしています。ベストフレンドです。
I put my glasses back on. Sounds like you're doing well.
はい。 種が楽しいです
Is that so? Watching Lucy thrive in her youth. It is my only remaining pleasure in life. But at the same time, it is also one of my greatest sorrows. Have you learned anything new today?
今日は100種類以上の新しい料理のレシピを入力してもらいました
Sounds splendid. And could you make something for me during your evaluation?
もちろんですどんな料理がお好きですか
Anything. If it's by you, anything's fine.
あいにく今回覚えた料理はフランス系統の洋食ですので日本食が好きな博士のお口に合うかどうか
No need to worry. Not to pick your food. I'll eat anything that you make for me. It doesn't matter how unpleasant it might taste.
それはダメです博士
Lucy scolds me.
まずかったらちゃんとまずいって言わないといけませんもっともっと勉強してその次は美味しい料理を作れるようにしますから
I guess you're right.
そうです
Then I'll be waiting. I'm looking forward to it. You know, if I was really going for it, I should have just did Ryu's voice, like, "Hey, everybody," just go that way. Next time I will do that. Next time I will just do that. October 16th. Wow, okay. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is since, wow, 2 days passed. Good Lord, that's fast. Since 2 days have passed, I didn't realize what the hell was going on the entire time. I'm actually going to stop here, and in the next part, we're actually going to continue and most likely finish the story. Stay tuned. More of this novel right after this.